Yeah. And we were right to turn away the non-Justice League fans at the door. Excellent. All right, we want to remind you a couple of things. One, if there's any friends that couldn't get into this panel or couldn't get into the convention, you want to taunt them, please use our con away from com taunting mechanism to get their attention. And talk about it on social media, mention it to your friends. Friend us everywhere, and you can see things. If you were too busy, you didn't see every one of our panels, you can check out what art we showed and everything. Check that out. There's the information on the screen. And also, we have our We Can Be Heroes campaign. Please join DC and the Justice League to fight the devastating hunger crisis in the Horn of Africa. Very easy, you can just text HEROES to 80888 to give $10, and DC and him will match your donation. Thanks to all of you who have already generously donated. So, first up, I'd like to introduce the editor of Justice League, Brian Cunningham. Brian. If you see Brian in the room, later today or tomorrow, just remember, everything that happens in Justice League and all the characters in the Justice League, Brian is responsible for it. Brian, would you like to share that responsibility and introduce any of the other folks who work with you in that endeavor?
You really are good at this.
Yeah, I really have been amazing to this, aren't I?
I thought you were kidding. Well, let's bring up our former Justice League artist, Jim Lee.
Very polished. You still want me to? I'll have each person introduce the next one. That would be great. I'm going to introduce my former my former writer, who's also Chief Creative Officer for the company, good buddy of mine. Although he's wearing this nefariously evil cap. Anyway, so Jeff Johns, please come on.
Okay, so I guess I will introduce my collaborator on the new Justice League of America title out next year. I don't know if the exact date's been released, but it's out next year. Grandmaster David Finch.
I've never had to introduce somebody before, but I guess I'm going to introduce Francis Manipool, who is one of my favorites. I've known him for years and years.
Fellow Canadian. Who do I pick?
It's like those dodgeball games. Like, gosh.
Next up is Brian Michelotto, the co-writer of The Flash.
I guess there's only one left. Mr. Cliff Chang. It doesn't reflect your playing ability, your volleyball playing ability.
Thanks. All right, so we're going to take a look at some slides of some of the upcoming issues of Justice League and the books that everybody works on. And we're going to probably sneak some news or a little bit of that into our conversation. And then after that, we'll take all of your respectful, pertinent, appropriate, and upbeat questions. And then after we end, then you can drag us down the hall trying to do the other questions. All right, first up is a look at Justice League number 16. Brian, what are you guys going to tell these many fine folks about Justice League 16 and where it says Throne of Atlantis at the top?
Justice League 16, I believe, is part 3.
Yeah.
Part 3 of Throne of Atlantis. We're right in the middle of things, and as you can tell, it's going to get a pretty...
Not going so well.
Yeah. A little dicey. A little harmony problem.
The storyline Throne of Atlantis is about the Justice League, obviously confronting Atlantis. And Atlantis, we haven't seen Atlantis yet in Aquaman. We've been talking about it, and Atlantis isn't just like an underwater army that comes up and fights. They're a very different kind of society. They're almost an alien society. And you'll see that with Ocean Master and his interactions with Aquaman. Ocean Master is Aquaman's brother in the King of Atlantis right now. And it's a storyline that goes between Aquaman and Justice League and really redefines Aquaman's role in the team. And Cyborg's actually.
All right, and then we have a brand new slide. Am I correct, Adam?
No, that's Aquaman 16.
That's Aquaman 16? Okay. Anything when we go into Aquaman 16?
We introduced these underwater creatures called the Trench. Like to eat people, and they come back. Everything in Aquaman from issue 1 to up to now is part of the Throne of Atlantis storyline.
All right. Next up.
This is an image by Paul Pelletier, who's a new penciler on Aquaman. So he's going to be joining us with issue 15, and he'll be doing Throne of Atlantis. Really excited about Paul. Oh, there is it, guys. Joe Prado and Ivan Reis. But Paul's coming back from a long stint at Marvel. Really excited to have him on Aquaman. Ivan and Joe are moving over to Justice League, so Paul's going to be stepping on Aquaman and bringing his skills there. But I'm really excited for that.
He's so badass, he's breaking out of the shark protection tank.
Yeah, well, there's a reason behind it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He wakes up in a shark tank. He's like, why am I in this tank?
But it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it still is. But Paul really compliments what Ivan and Joe did fantastic work, and but Paul's coming in and he's got a really great style. So.
I think it fits the whole,
Okay, next up. Just to look at, I think this is for Justice League 15. We're going back in time.
That's actually Justice League 13.
Even further back in time.
Yeah, so this is the next issue. If you guys remember, 12 ended with a kiss between Superman and Wonder Woman. This issue opens up with what the hell was that? And we see these characters, Superman and Wonder Woman start to dance around the idea of if they have anything going or not together. And we reintroduced the Cheetah to the New 52, and the Cheetah will have a pretty unique position in the DC Universe relationship with Wonder Woman, and she'll be a part of Trinity War later next year.
That's great.
And we had this giant cover.
We are going back.
Which some of you rushed out and purchased, which I certainly appreciate as the head of sales. And so, Jim, how much time did you have to conceptualize this cover? Was it different from a regular cover? I mean, the weight of this?
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking, but I waited till the prime hour of 3 in the morning to start. Because if it's something painful, I procrastinate. And then they actually had set up cameras in my studio at home so I could film. I had 2 cameras and I would have to turn them on, sit down, and draw. And so they have footage on DCComics.com, but if you watch the footage, I would say 80% of the time I'm drawing and I erase it, and then probably the last hour and a half I actually drew the cover that's there. So it really shows how much time I waste doing nothing. And if I just had someone standing over my shoulder saying, "You're done, that looks good," the books would be coming out on time. But anyway, so just check it out. I think when I saw it, I was really kind of floored. When you're drawing, you don't realize how much you're erasing and noodling things. And if you watch it, it's like there's nothing, and then all of a sudden it just kind of magically shows up. And I was just going, wow, I really should have figured out a different way of drawing and be much faster.
We could hire Brian to go to your house and just stand.
That would be the best thing in the world. But I had a great time doing the cover, and something we planned out about a year ago. And I didn't really have a chance to when we ended my run on it, we didn't really say I was leaving the book until we had this other stuff lined up. But I wanted to just say now, thank you very much, Jeff. I really enjoyed working on the book with you, and I can't think of leaving the book in more capable hands. Ivan Reese? No, how do you pronounce it in your homeland? How do you pronounce it in your homeland? Huh? No, frozen beans, yeah. Frozen rice and beans. Anyway, so Ivan Rice, if you look through Justice League, there's all these shots of all the characters and all these things going on, middle ground, foreground, background, and I really think of his work and how much stuff he puts on a page, these double-page spreads that has so much material. And he's a real inspiration to me. And so when I think of like Justice League, this is the guy. I mean, he's going to kick ass in the book.
So no pressure.
Next month I live in Brazil.
All right, and we've announced we're doing another Justice League title. That's a big cast of characters.
Very good.
Who's working on that with you, Mr. John?
David Finch is an amazing artist, and David and I have been talking about doing something for a long time, like 8 years or something. 8 years. So we finally linked up, synced up our schedules, and what we wanted to do. And so Justice League of America, Justice League's the world's greatest. These guys are the world's most dangerous, and you'll see. Like, everyone say, why the hell is Catwoman on the team? You'll see. Catwoman also says, why the hell am I on this team? If everyone says, who the hell is Vibe? Everyone else on the team says, who the hell are you? But we've got new Green Lantern there, the reintroduction of Stargirl into the New 52. She's like the only one happy to be there. She's like, this is going to be great, and everybody else is and Green Arrow. There's actually a lot of big Green Arrow plans coming up. A lot of Green Arrow stuff in the works right now, which you guys will hear more about. Hawkman, who basically just shows up, beats people up, and leaves, and they don't know where he is. And Katana, who's with Martian Manhunter and Steve Trevor. Katana is one of my favorite characters. I think she's going to really. I don't know if you guys know who Katana is, but she's like this assassin from a group of assassins, and her husband was in the same group, and her husband was killed by this sword called the Soul Sword, and this sword is said to have captured the souls of anyone who gets killed by it within. And so she takes the sword and exacts revenge, and she has this sword and tells a story, and her husband's soul is in this sword. She tells everybody and talks to the sword. And the sword doesn't talk back, but she still talks to it, and tells her to do nasty, horrible things to people. But she's a really great character, and I hope you guys like the book. David's gonna kick ass on it.
It's great to be working with you, and I'm not talking about microphone, sorry. And I'm talking fast because I'm nervous, but yeah, this is a blast. I love doing team books, especially after doing Batman for a while, which I'm having a great time on. It's, I think I like going back and forth a little bit, just being able to draw so many different characters in different settings, and it's kind of taking me out of my comfort zone a little bit, which makes it a lot of fun. So I can't wait.
I'll also say this book will make Martian Manhunter the most dangerous character in the DC universe.
David, are you approaching this release since a lot of these characters actually go out in daylight and do stuff?
No. I only got one way that everything that I draw is really kind of based around a little bit of shadow. I don't know how to draw without it, so.
They're going to go out at night anyway.
Yeah, even during the day it'll be a little bit dark.
Fair enough. All right, over in Green Lantern, Jeff, you want to give us a little bit of an idea of how this all ties together? Or?
Sure. I mean, right now we've got a storyline called Rise of the Third Army. A new Green Lantern's just taken the ring. Simon Baz is his name. He's going to join the Justice League of America, which would be interesting for a lot of people, considering what he's going through right now. But his storyline really, as the other Green Lantern books are dealing with all the outer space stuff, Simon's on Earth, learning what a Green Lantern is, learning what the Ring is, dealing with the Justice League. The next issue opens up with him face to face with the Justice League, and they've been ordered to hunt down this guy, and they go after him. He's just standing there staring at them, and they're ready to take him on, and he's still standing there staring at them. And he's like, "You don't really expect me to fight you, do you?" And they all kind of look at each other. He's like, "I mean, you're Superman. You kick my ass alone." And he says, "Maybe I can take Batman." And Flash says he's a Green Lantern. But I'm having a lot of fun with the book and the character, and I think he's going to be a good addition to the Justice League. Also, too, I have to say thanks for everyone who's given the character a chance. The sales on our book have been really, really great, and there's lots of thank you.
Over at Flash, Brian and Francis, what can you do?
I don't know what to say other than there's lots of guerrillas and they're attacking Central City. They want Flash, and they don't care who they have to hurt to get what they want.
Spoiler! Clearly in this cover, Rod can. No, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, essentially, if you've been following the book so far, Gorilla Grodd really felt like he should have been hit by the lightning instead of Barry Allen. And he's trying really hard to get what he thinks is rightfully his. And right now with Gorilla City sort of coming back down, he decided that his new home is going to be Central City. So he's coming to take over the place. And Flash and the Rogues are the only people that stand between ape, I guess, invasion and the safety of the citizens. So it's going to be exciting.
Lots of apes.
Cliff, there are no apes in Wonder Woman right now, are there?
No, not yet.
Okay. What can you tell us about what's cooking over in Wonder Woman?
All right, I'll do my as impression.
Yeah.
That's Wonder Woman. And some flies. She doesn't like flies. We're introducing some more of her family in issues 15 and 16. Actually, issue 15, the one before this is 16. We also bring in Orion of the New Gods. And we're meeting another member of Wonder Woman's extended family who has a special connection to flies. And I think these two issues take place in New York.
The deadly Amazon bee rocket.
All right. There was a big burst of applause there for Orion of the New Gods. Is that just a one appearance, or will you see him?
No, he's going to be part of the cast for probably most of the year, I would think.
Yeah!
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I'm going to get you on that earlier volleyball team next time.
No, it's been a lot of fun drawing Orion. It's, we want to keep the focus on Wonder Woman, so it's not like a whole New Gods thing. But Orion playing off of Wonder Woman is really a lot of fun.
All right, sounds cool. All right, that's the stuff we have to show you guys today. You guys interested in asking us some questions? That was my suspicion. So just kind of orderly, calmly, without trampling anyone. Pretend it's a very calm place here. Line up and just, sir, if you'll ask the first question.
Okay. Looking at all the covers and all the panels, this is going to be a great year coming up. My question is to Jeff. You're writing 4 books. When do you sleep? And plus, you also have your executive job as well. When do you sleep?
I don't sleep. I actually learned how not to sleep.
All right. That was actually my question. Thank you.
Yes. Honestly, I just love what I do, so I do it all the time. That's the truth.
Hi. Sorry. Hi, guys. I had a question. I wanted to know how much the individual titles influenced Justice League. Is there any collaboration? Is it like, hey, I want to do this to Wonder Woman, is it okay? Or back and forth?
Yeah, I actually sent my scripts to Brian. We have a meeting this week on everything, all the characters, and then the editors share the scripts. Like there's the Flash. We're actually referencing what Flash is doing in Justice League 15 because he's not in the issue. So we're referencing what Brian and Francis are doing. So yeah, there's collaboration. The books will probably get a little tighter as we go into the second year because we're in the now. But yeah, there's some brainstorming going on.
Thank you.
Hey guys, first I just want to say I've been loving the Wonder Woman books. I think they're fantastic. Mr. Chang, awesome job.
Thank you.
Yeah! That being said, as much as I love the direction it's going in now, a part of me does miss the more traditional superhero roles that she used to play. Any chance of a second Wonder Woman book coming out anytime soon?
Not for me.
You know, you're going to see a lot. Like, she's going to get the focus actually in Justice League for the next couple of issues with the Cheetah. And the Cheetah really is, if Wonder Woman embraces humanity and loves everything about humanity, Cheetah despises humanity. She doesn't understand why humanity is special or why Wonder Woman thinks it's worth saving. You know, we're just animals pretending we're evolved. We're just putting on clothes and hiding the fact that we're like everything else. And when animals misbehave, they're put in cages and we try and control everything. And she actually has Cheetah has a disdain for everything Wonder Woman loves, so we'll be exploring that. So it's a bit of a more, you know, actually, when Brian read issue 13, he said, it reminds me of like kind of a Silver Age story, because it's a traditional Wonder Woman fights the Cheetah with the Justice League in tow.
Thank you.
That means panel's fine. I know that joke. Okay.
Can you elaborate a little bit on how Wonder Woman and Superman kissing causes Booster Gold to not exist?
No, I can't. Brian might be able to.
Yeah, Brian, how does that work?
He can't either, I guess.
Thank you.
Sorry. But he won't not exist for long. How's that?
Hey guys, where are we going to see Shazam after everything's
He's going to join the Justice League.
awesome? And when the letter was given by Flash to Batman at the end of Flashpoint, are we ever going to see anything in regards to it reading the letter or doing anything back in Flashpoint world?
Never say never. That always works. Yeah.
And just wanted to say I love you guys and what you do. My question is that with the Justice League back issues and what we saw, and Shazam's continuation with the Justice League, are we going to see more of Black Adam and possibly the Trinity of staying along with Blaze and Satanus or somehow involved?
Blaze and Satanus are two characters.
I couldn't hear it.
We won't necessarily see Blaze and Satanus. Never say never. But
well, Black Adam was in that big pullout, and that was in a Free Comic Book Day, so obviously he plays a role.
Yeah, he's a pretty central character for a while, and so are the Trinity soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hello. I love the way you brought back Hal Jordan all those years ago, because you kept all the other Green Lanterns, and they all have different characters and, you know, different relations, different takes on things, and, you know, also Batman group of titles also benefit from this, right? They kind of have a similar set of powers or you know, setup, but I mean, there are different iterations of similar premises, right? And I kind of think Flash can also benefit from like a take like this. So I implore you guys to bring back Wally West.
Well, what's funny is that when he started his question, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah, he just told me it was going to be a Wally West question, so...
Like, not even halfway. But like Jeff said, never say never. But
we have Daniel West in our book.
We are introducing Daniel West, who is going to play a major role in the Flash universe. So keep a lookout for that.
Thank you.
And for sliding that one past us, you know, here's a copy of the uncut cover for the next issue of the Black.
I'd like to ask about the new Nightwing suit. Why changed to red?
We were just talking about that today, in fact. You know, I think one of the reasons was, you know, black and red look awesome. As a color combination. I think also when we did the new 52, we wanted to kind of shake things up visually, and that was a costume that had been around for a while, the blue and black one. And it kind of synced up more with Robin's past, and yeah, I'll leave it at that. But it is a thing that we kind of discuss a lot. You know, the thing about reverting back to what existed before the new 52, to me, it's not really what we set out to do with the new 52. It was all about change and updating these characters and streamlining origins and going forward and adding new things to it. And we just found that when he was in that red and black costume, he just looked great within the Batman family. So, but that's, you know, I know a lot of people are fans of the blue and black costume, so I'll use the never say never.
But it's true. It's also true. You know, you never want to say never, because it doesn't make any sense to say never.
Before you go away, are you a fan of the Justice League? Do you have this black and white sketch version by Jim Lee we only gave to retailers? With the black and white cover, you can make all those costumes whatever colors you want.
Hey guys, I love your work. I just want to know, how do you guys prepare yourselves for working on new characters that you've never worked on before? When I mean new characters, I mean characters you haven't previously worked on.
Research?
Working on characters never worked on before. What do you do? I look at what other people have done. You know, art reference, that always helps. Like I said, before I did look at Ivan's work a lot, because I think he's worked on every single DC character that exists, usually on one double-page spread. So, and I'm not kidding. There was a couple shots from, yeah, anyways, crazy. Yeah, Black and Ice had some insane shots, and gosh, I don't know. I usually look at past incarnations of it, but with this it was different because it was New 52, so a lot of the designs were ones I either created or Cully Hamner or some of the artists that were on the individual books. You know, it's always uncomfortable at first drawing the characters. I've done a lot of Superman and Batman, so those were the easiest. But if you look at how I draw Wonder Woman, she kind of changes from issue to issue, and her heels get long and get short and this and that. And so obviously I'm working it out as I go along, which is always fun for the viewers, because you try to find mistakes, I guess. But I don't know. What do you guys? You know what? It just comes out through the practice. Like usually by the end of the run, you feel comfortable drawing the characters, and then you bolt. That's how.
It actually ends up feeling like you know how you have a favorite meal, and you know what you're gonna get, but every now and then you want to try something new. So when I'm drawing a new character that I haven't drawn before, it's like a new meal. You know, I'm really excited to sink my teeth into it. And sometimes it could turn out good, and sometimes I might not like it. You know. So, but at the end of the day, it's actually more exciting to change it up. You know, and I think that's probably the same for everybody. Everybody's just excited to be trying something different and something new. I think that's why we're excited when we start new projects. You know, we're always so enthusiastic.
I know, for me, I have so many favorite artists, and going on to a new project, there's always artists that come for me that I love, and that, you know, I want to try and get some of that in there. And so, you know, like I did Moon Knight, and I'm a huge Stephen Platt fan, and I want to get some of that in there, and I love Bill Sienkiewicz. You know, every book is always like that for me. And then it really comes down to the story and the writing, and you know, when I can really believe the characters as people, that makes such a big difference in how I approach them. And it actually, I find that is the biggest factor for me when I start to get to know the characters. I end up with favorites that I wouldn't have thought going in, just based on the writing.
All right, thanks guys.
I'd like to say that I love all the work that you guys have done. I got into DC Comics by reading Blackest Night, so thank you, Jeff. My question is about Stargirl. I love her. Why did you choose to put her in like Earth 1 when most people assume maybe she'd be put in Earth 2 because of Justice Society?
So I could write her. Truthfully, that's the truth. Like, I wanted to write the characters sooner than later, and I didn't want to have to wait to do a story that would take place on Earth 2. I had an idea for her on JLA. She's kind of the face of the Justice League of America. This new Stargirl is, she's kind of I don't want to slam anybody, but like an anti-Paris Hilton, anti-Amanda Bynes character. Because she's like, yeah, she's like the one everyone wants to look up to. She operates out of Hollywood now. She is she has a bit of a past, but so the character just kind of fits with what we're doing. She's like a great PR move for the JLA, and kind of the face of America, what they want to put out there. But you know, there's going to be some tension and stuff with her, and Pat will be there, and all that stuff. Like, she'll still be Stargirl, the DNA will still be there, just like, you know, Aquaman's still Aquaman, even though it's a little different.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Okay, my question is this. The first 2 years that we dealt with the villains were Darkseid and Graves. Now, I know there's been some rumblings about in the Injustice game, but however, will the Injustice game be introduced before the Trinity War or after the Trinity War, or you have no plans at all? Oh, we got you!
Justice League of America #1. How's that?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. It's mostly for Jeff. I know you like to take the more obscure, nobody characters a la Vibe. I was wondering if you have any ideas for anyone after you fix Vibe and make him awesome as well as Aquaman and all your other previous work.
I don't know how awesome Vibe's going to be. You guys will tell me. We'll find out. Actually, that was a challenge. Like, I was like, oh, Aquaman, we did it. And I was kind of like, who's the worst character in our library? Like, who is somebody that I've never seen anyone request come back? And so that's why I was like, you know what? I had an idea for Vibe and how he actually fits into literally the fabric of the DC universe, and he suddenly became a really interesting character and somebody who was forgotten. And you know, when he's recruited to the JLA, he's like, I don't know why they picked me. And his older brother looks at him and goes, you know, maybe they see potential in you that you and I don't see. And he's like, thanks a lot. You know, and he thinks he's a red shirt. You know, basically he feels like he's a red shirt from Star Trek. It's like, as soon as we go up against some other villains or meet another hero and team up, I'm gone. So anyway, that's a lot of fun. I don't know I have a couple ideas for other obscure characters. I wouldn't want to pitch them out yet before we get to them, but we should have some fun with that. I love taking like characters that are off the beaten path and people have written off, like Mara. When we worked on Blackest Night, like before we even started Blackest Night, Ivan, Joe, and I talked about Mara, and we just talked about her for like a long time. And she kicks ass. Yeah, and I'm like, you know, let's take this character that's been around for a long, long time and make her like out of 300 underwater. Like, give her the regal power and confidence and MO that she deserves, a character like this deserves. And so we just tried to pour all our energy, as much energy as we put into Green Lantern or Aquaman, we try and put into Mara or Vibe or whoever we're working on. So I really like trying to elevate characters like that. I just think it's fun, and the challenge of it is fun because, you know, people write these characters off way too quick, I think. They all have potential to be something special.
Hey guys, what do you think about the film adaptation of the Justice League origin story?
What do I think about the film adaptation? What, you saw
Do you
something
think there should
already? Security. Yeah, you know what? I would love to see a Justice League movie. Who wouldn't? But I mean, you know, but our focus is on publishing and doing, you know, telling the best stories we can. And you know, I loved working with Jeff. I mean, it was a lot of fun, sort of you know, laying out the reason why a Justice League needs to exist in the DC universe and how important they are to sort of change public perception of superheroes with these superpowered beings. So, yeah, I think that could be a fine origin, but there's so many different ways you can go with it, and so many different great Justice League stories that you could draw from. But I don't know, I think Jeff is a great writer, so that would be an awesome start. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you guys for all the hard work you do every year in producing wonderful work. My only question is, with the Green Lantern and the confrontation that's already occurring between him and the Justice League, and the fact that Catwoman's in Justice League of America, are we going to see like a giant divide in the Justice League, or are we going to see a splintering of groups? Is there anything you can say towards that, or no?
I think you're probably right on track with what's going to happen.
Hey, my question is taking us now about an animated film. So what I'm going to ask is, are any more classic Titans going to get moved up in the chain like Cyborg was? I really enjoyed that.
You mean in animated films?
No, in the comics.
Oh, in the comics, like Raven and Starfire and stuff?
Yep.
I know there's plans for Raven, and Starfire, she's still in the Outlaws, I believe.
Yep.
But Cyborg's my focus right now for me.
Thank you.
Let me just start out by saying, like, Jeff Johns, your run on Green Lantern was really made me fall in love with DC, so thank you for that. And I was wondering, will Justice League of America elaborate on the backstory with Martian Manhunter and the Justice League?
Yes, it will. You'll see what he's actually doing, why he's here, why he's on Earth, what he's been up to. And, I kind of call him a one-man Illuminati. That's how I refer to him.
Thank you.
My question is about the new Green Lantern. Can you tell me a little about the inspiration for him, and if we'll see any other characters with similar backgrounds?
Sure. When I knew I was going to introduce somebody new, I wanted to tackle, you know, with Green Lantern for me, since I started, it's all been about fear, and a lot of it's been about straight ahead fear. And when I thought about tackling a new character, I thought, how can I analyze fear in a different way and hit, you know, maybe cultural fear and play with that. So I drew a little bit from my own heritage. I drew from people I know, and I created a character that I thought would be very different than every other character out there, and have to deal with something very different than all the other Green Lanterns have to. It doesn't mean we're not going to have a ton of superhero action and crazy Green Lantern stuff. Like when he learns how to make constructs, it's going to be a little nuts. But the inspiration came from just life and people and doing something very different. And I like that everyone's like, cool, Hal and Sinestro, and then we just twist it. You know, I don't want people to get too comfortable with what we're doing ever. So, but it's fun, and I think he's turned out to be a great character. I hope you guys like him.
And if you'd like a copy of Justice League #1, okay.
First of all, I want to say that the new 52 is so awesome. I really like it. And I'm glad y'all guys did it because it really becomes like for us young people to get right into it. A lot of people don't have a lot of free time like I am that young to go back and actually read all that really old stuff. But my question is geared to more of my thing is I'm real big on minority superheroes, and when Mr. Terrific and Static Shock got canceled, I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. And I was very famous as Terrific, and I saw y'all brought him back to Earth 2, and I was like, oh, he's not gone, so that's cool. And and I was just wondering if y'all was like had any plans to maybe bring Static over to the Titans, or maybe bring other characters. Like I never seen it's like Plastic Man. He was cool with Flash. Where he at? And I haven't seen Dr. Fate yet. Dr. Fate, my man. Where he at too? Like I know it's a lot of questions. Say they just killed Lobo. Lobo can't die. I mean he's broken. I mean you understand what I'm saying? Like I'm real big on minority superheroes, and I was wondering if I was going to take like Icon and Hardware and Rocket and bring them over to to give play to minority superheroes. Like, I like the vibe thing, so I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, Jim and I actually have a meeting on some stuff that, on a kind of a character.
On some of the stuff you mentioned, I won't say exactly what that long list of characters, but no, actually some of the stuff that you mentioned at the end, Jeff and I are meeting with some of the people that are in charge of those characters. So, yeah, I mean, having that kind of diversity in our lineup of books is something that we definitely work towards, and stay tuned for 2013.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That was such a great job. Keep the minority superheroes on. Not enough.
You like a Justice League? Just don't have a logo. Just don't put a logo in that list of characters.
Hi, I'd just like to say, by the way, Francis Maniple, I've been a huge Batman fan since I was little, and the New 52 is absolutely because of you and because of the general writing of The Flash. It is absolutely about a newfound love for The Flash. So thank you. Like, if it's not incredibly obvious, you really like team books. So I'm kind of wondering, I'm a huge Secret Six fan. I'm kind of wondering if it's like possible at all that you ever like look into the characters that Secret Six like went into, like Catman or Ragdoll or Scandal Savage, or if there's any possibility they'll be back at some point in like a team book, maybe.
I'll never say never. No, I was saying, like, Gail did such a good job defining Ragdoll and Catman and stuff, and I feel like, I mean, just for me as a writer, I want to find characters that haven't been as redefined, because they're great the way they are. I don't know who has plans for those. Anybody did, Brian? Do you know?
I'll even take Scandal Savage. You can just give that to me if you want.
Keep reading.
I tell you what, Howard, the nice thing you said about Francis and Brian on Flash, you can have not just the uncut flat cover, but the black and white variant. How's that?
Thank you so much.
Katana's adopted daughter, Halo, survived the crossover.
Is Halo in the New 52, you mean? Yeah, I don't think she's appeared yet.
You're saying she might.
Never say that. There's always a chance.
With Robin, the new Robin, Damian Wayne, what are you planning to do with him, and will he ever lead the Teen Titans? Ever? What makes him different from the other Robins, too?
I know he's not really a Justice League character, so no. He's, I mean, Grant created a great character in Damon. Obviously, he's an awesome character.
Necessarily have, and his heritage is definitely a different kind of backstory. So, yeah, he's a great character. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't quite fit or sink in with Justice League. And they don't have a couple minutes.
But if you'd like, you can have a cover of Batman Incorporated #4 with Damien right there. Because I've got so many things in
Hey guys, just want to first off say thank you so much for the New 52. It's been great. It got me back into comics. Love it. My question goes, I guess, to Jeff. We've seen him in Free Comic Book Day. We saw him most recently in Justice League Zero and Phantom Stranger Zero. And I think at this point we can all presume that it's the New 52 the question. Can you tease a little bit on where you're going to be taking this character?
He will be seen next, I think, in Justice League, but he'll have kind of a prominent role moving ahead next year.
And then one more thing, can I ask if the previous question, Renee Montoya, still exists in the New 52 currently?
I think she's in Gotham right now. We've seen her in Gotham already.
Oh, okay. Great, thank you.
With all the work that you guys have been doing with the New 52 and everything, is there any
major motion picture people coming to you for inspiration for new movies coming out?
You mean like today?
In the future.
Right after this panel? I love your third answer. No, you know what, look, I think the work we do serves as the source material for all the great movies and TV shows and video games that you see, but, you know, all the people in animation and all the people that, you know, these creators, I mean, they have to take the material and make it work for the medium that they're working in. So a 2-hour movie doesn't have the sort of same creative parameters as a monthly title that, you know, is continuously being published. So they do what's best for, you know, the story they're going to tell. But you know, we're all flattered to have the material kind of be adapted and be part of that by creating the original source material. But it also gives us a lot of freedom, conversely, because we don't necessarily have to sync exactly with what they're doing. We can go ahead and do something that we feel is right for the characters in print. In print and digital, and then they in turn can do what's best for the medium they're working in.
Yeah, but like the guys on the Arrow show are looking at all the comics, and because there's more than just Green Arrow in there, there's a lot of decent characters in there. So there's a lot of people that take inspiration. They call and ask for books, and we give them books. You know, it's fun.
Thank you so much.
Did you watch Arrow Wednesday?
Yes, of course. We're going to the panel tomorrow.
Great. Next up.
How much will the new Justice League of America cost for the first issue, and will there be any crossover with the regular Justice League?
How much is it, Bob? You're the sales guy.
We're going to be talking about that tomorrow.
How much you want it to be? You got your opportunity right here. Make your case.
Do I hear
50 cents.
Thank you. I think it'll be
for 2 pages, 50 cents.
It'll be competitively priced like most DC titles. But you know, you're hoping to see them interact as well. I bet you'll see that too.
Thank you.
Okay.
This new Wonder Woman series is the best the characters ever had. I'm just enjoying the hell out of it. I was wondering, with Orion going back and Wonder Woman, if we're going to be seeing the rest of the New Gods in there, and also if and how the New Gods are related to the Greek gods.
It would be great to have the New Gods. I had a lot of fun, recently redesigning Orion, but I think we want to keep it, the book's still called Wonder Woman. I think the New Gods are so cool, it would kind of threaten to overwhelm the book, and there's a lot of characters, so we're just going to use Orion for now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let me just say it's an honor to be here, and what you guys have done with the 52 has been terrific. In fact, just started right by the time of my birthday. So, and Jeff, I love your work, and you have been an inspiration ever since I started.
Thank you.
And as far as the 52 and with the upcoming of the Trinity Wars, my question is on the character of Pandora. What is it that inspired you to create this character? What's the most significant role she's playing for the Trinity War? Exactly.
Gosh, I hate to spoil stuff because I mean, even to start talking about the inspiration or what is important about her, it's going to kind of tip our hand a little bit. So, sorry. She'll play a very big role coming up, and you'll see her a lot more and what that connection is to every other character that's out there in the DCU. Again, I'm sorry, I can't say more.
Next year's Justice League panel, that's a good question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How y'all guys doing today? First, I want to say, my wife, the side of her room, has Patterson and Coulter and things like that. Mine, whole bookcase says Tomasi, Johns, and Lee. That's all I have on my shelf. Now, my main question is, of course, about the Green Lantern. All right, with Sinestro and Hal and everybody, how it seems like they're breaking off in the duos here and there. Are we going to see Baz have like a mentor not have somebody like maybe with his more temperament, kind of like God.
You will actually see Baz and Guy's the first one Baz meets, which proves interesting because they're very different characters. But Baz will have a Green Lantern that trains him eventually, and it's someone who's a very minor Green Lantern right now, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun with that character. And they'll first appear in issue, I think issues 15.
My second question is kind of about St. Walker and his little group. He calls everybody brother, and one of the issues, one of the lanterns asked him, okay, how come we're all called brother and sister and he gets his own name? Are we going to see any of those Blue Lanterns like kind of branch out like he does with the New Guardians? Like you say, Worf go and help here, and another one go and help there?
Yeah, you'll see the Blue Lanterns play a pretty big role in this story. We have a story, the Rise of the Third Army is kind of the precursor to a bigger story that involves everybody that's coming up next, right on the heels of that. That'll start in February.
Hey guys, thanks for being here. I want to thank you guys for all the hard work and innovation you bring to us, with all the work you're doing now, whether we all appreciate it or not, long term. It happens, we've already heard some of it. I was a little late, so in case no one's mentioned it yet, I did want to also wish a happy birthday to Dan, wherever he is right now.
He's at home, I think. He just left. Yeah, it was Dan to do his birthday.
But Dan will be at the Dan and Jim co-publishers panel tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I'm sure there'd be nothing Dan would like more than for you to come by and wish him a happy birthday.
There you go. My Christmas message, so everyone has a penchant and love for Wally West, and I get that. But as far as the other Flash family members, I'm partial to Disney Quick. Is there any discussions or any drawing board ideas of potentially bringing her back before some of the other more prolific Flash family members to again shake things up and be more innovative with the way his stories going to go?
Well, I mean, right now we're focusing on Barry Allen. We really want people to really care about him. But at the same time, we're expanding a little bit of the West family by introducing Daniel West. A little bit at a time, But right now, I think that there's just going to be a lot of interesting things happening with Iris eventually coming back and us finding out more about Daniel. But there's going to be some really interesting dynamics once those three people eventually cross paths. But I mean, with regards to expanding, I think right now we're just going to focus on Barry and Daniel for the foreseeable future.
Or even Earth 2, if you're dealing with Jay.
I just want him somewhere.
I would love to see her, basically, yes. Like, everyone loves Wally. I'd love to see Jesse again.
I've never seen it.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
What are you guys doing? With the various Batman comics that are out there, does it conflict with the timeline of Batman being in the Justice League? Like you have the Dark Knight, you have the Court of Owls. It's just like he's working overtime to me. That means he had time to leave Bruce Wayne going for like 5 minutes. That's why.
Yeah, we actually have a chart in the office how it works out, all the numbers.
Really?
But we can't share that chart. We actually account for every hour of the 24 hours.
New 52, they're 30 hours to a day. We haven't really told anyone this, but it all works
out. There's actually hints if you go back to Justice League number 2, you can see a clock that says like 17 over.
Well, I saw it 5 years ago on the first issue, and that was it.
Hi guys, thanks for being awesome. Real quick, one of my favorite characters is the Prince of Dreams, and will he be incorporated in anything coming up in the DC universe? And also, do you have any plans on bringing back the awesomeness that is Black Lantern's support?
Black Hand is going to, he's in the books right now, screwing around. Actually, the next issue 14, you'll kind of see the return of a Black Lantern, sort of, in a weird way. And Sandman Zero is coming out next year by Neil Gaiman. So that's really where you're going to get, I mean, the best of Sandman story you can design. Yeah.
Thank you. So we have time, just a couple more questions. They've given us the wrap it up warning, so I'm not sure all of you in the queue are going to get to, but we'll start off with this gentleman here.
How are you guys? Big fan of the 52s. Good, awesome job. One question though. I'm wondering how come there are 5 Green Lanterns on one Earth though?
5 Green Lanterns on one Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, there's only 4 right now.
4. Okay.
So there's still 4.
They're only allowed like 1 Green Lantern, right? Or something.
Earth is? No, Earth's special.
Okay, thank you.
Hey guys, you said Green Arrow is going to have a lot of stuff coming up soon in the comics. And since he's on this new team, are we going to see any fleshing out of his relationship with Green Harbor?
I think I just have
Not in JLA.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry, yeah.
I just gotta say it's great seeing you guys here today. I was gonna say, admittedly, Vi has always been one of my favorite characters.
You got me.
I've been one of those Aquaman Jokers, but since reading the new 52 in his run, I gotta say, he turned me into a believer of Aquaman, so I just want to thank you for that, despite the hat. And I just gotta know, is there any possible incorporation of either Jackson Hyde or Garth going on at all? Any plans for the future?
And we're talking about it.
Oh, that's interesting to say this. Anything can You never know.
There's that, we're actually talking, I mean, we're getting into Atlantis soon, so
yeah,
you'll see stuff.
Well, thanks, Stanley. Good to see you guys.
Thank you. Hope you like Vibe. If you don't, I'm sorry.
Hi.
It couldn't get worse, could it?
Hi. It's very nice to see you. My particular question is aimed at Mr. Jones, where I myself am a writer, and your writing for the comics is just so wonderful. It's a balance of action, character, focus, and I just wonder, that's primarily one of my problems when I'm writing a narrative, just finding a balance between moving the plot along, yet still having enough time to focus on the characters. With your creative process, how do you find that particular balance to keep things moving, while still fleshing out the characters, looking at their motivations? Could you give us a little insight on that whole process?
I work with Brian. I mean, Brian and I talk story. Brian, how much do we talk story? A lot.
Every morning, 11:30 a.m.
Yeah, every morning I call. I actually do call you every day at 8:30 my time. I call Brian every day and we talk about story. And one thing we always talk about is how the action has to reflect the emotion. So you don't just have a fight scene and then 2 pages of emotion. You know, like, hey, let's talk about what it's about, and then have a big 5-page ad. It all has to be intertwined. So anything you're doing in action, if it's not moving at the story emotionally, then just cut it. That's my advice. So like the internal conflict is always represented in the external. But Brian and I always, we go deep into story and character all the time and try and find that balance. It's hard. It's really hard, especially in superhero comics because you only have so much space.
Thank you very much.
All right. And with that, we have reached the end of our time here. And we want to thank all of you.